Son of a bitch. He just 30-minute videos. That was 8 minutes.
Yeah, but
Okay. Well, now that you've gone away and I'll never be back, um, Mom, if you're listening, you're the only one. And if you're watching, this is what I look like now. And I hope you don't. My mother is 89 years old, and she's never had a beard in her life. So, what is the reaction, Yoshi? What has been the reaction?
well, one of the reaction was, well,
I'm not listening.
don't. I know. Neither are my listeners. Is don't take this
You're
the
going to
wrong
have
way.
to change them to ignorers.
Yeah, well, that's a story in my life. Is more like it's. Don't take this the wrong way, but we got quite some emails that say, I don't know how in English roughly translated, it's who the hell is Rick Harsh? That was basically.
Oh, so so they're all from the United States then, because that's the response I get there. Is who the hell is Rick Harsh?
So
Even my brothers don't. They pretend not to know.
So then just in short, Rick, in short, for the listeners, what are the is your most the book that they can know you from? That we can talk about, of course, Voices After Evelyn, or the assassination of Olof Palme. Of course, their recent work, but the listeners, where do they know you from? From which book is your magnus opus?
Well, that's two different questions.
Well, treat it as one.
Okay, treat it as one. It's an interview trick. I just asked a bullshit question, and I'm going to make it sound like it's reasonable. No offense.
None taken.
Pizza oh no, it's pizza. Pizza timaterna. No, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Well, the magnum opus is. We probably did this before, but The Manifold Destiny of Eddie Vegas. It is my best book, but at the same time, my first book published was called The Driftless Zone, and it's part of the Driftless trilogy. Look at this, a pocket book. You get 3 novels in here, and I think at this point, if you could ask everybody in the world, what do you recognize Rick Harsh for? It would be, by now, The Driftless Zone or The Manifold Destiny of Eddie Vegas, because now enough of those have gone out. But this was first published, The Driftless Zone was first published in 1997. But the second one is the one I'd love for people to read, Billy Verite. In trilogies, you always, you know, you sometimes love one of them above the others, and I go back and forth, and then forth further and back further, because there are certain things that I like from each one. The first one always has a special resonance, but when I last reread it, Billy Verite cracked me up, and it was my own jokes. And I do laugh at my own jokes, but usually not after a long time. I laugh right away to try to encourage the people around me to laugh. So that would be
Okay.
but that doesn't take away the sting of who the fuck is Rick Harsh.
I know, but
Because even with that answer, they're going to say, so.
that's very much.
So what the fuck is that book?
So another question I got was from Marco Princic. He said, "Yeah, he stumbled.
Don't know him.
He stumbled. It's just one of our listeners. He stumbled upon a second-hand edition of the Driftlet Zone, and it was about 40-50 euros. He asks, where is that book? Can I still buy it? What the prices are? These are a bit.
This, I'm going to look at the camera here, and Darkenville's Cat is a supposed masterpiece, and probably is a masterpiece, by a writer named Alexander Theroux, brother of Paul Theroux, the more well-known travel writer and sometimes novelists wrote The Mosquito Coast. Alexander Theroux's Darkenville's Cat has been out of print for a long time, and if you can get a copy for $50, I wouldn't say you're lucky because I would never pay that. Although I did once, and then the book didn't come, and I was glad because I regretted, falling for that. It's just a novel. It may be a great novel, but Moby Dick, for instance, my favorite of all U.S. novels, you can still find it brand new for $6 in various places. And
the Driftwood Zone, isn't that part of a trilogy?
Well, the Driftwood Zone is part of a trilogy, but it doesn't matter. It was written independently. All of them are independent. You don't have to read one to understand the other. Read together, there's a sort of trilogy of place, theme, etc. But if Alexander Theroux costs $50, and usually now you might have to spend over $100, but it is coming out. From what I understand, it'll come out in the fall from Zero Gram Press. I don't know the price, but I'm sure the price, Zero Gram, even their main book right now, Jim Gower's novel Explosives, that's $17. I was amazed when I saw that because it's a big book, 700 pages, and it's $17. That is a very good price for a book, especially a new one. And a lot of people consider novel Explosives one of the great books of the 21st century so far. People I trust a lot, and
anyway,
17 is a great deal, and Darkenville's Cat will be down. So what I'm getting at is, I am entirely supportive of used book dealers, but not of people who overcharge for books that aren't worth. Their worth is gained by their scarcity, instead of by something like like if you can get a first edition William Faulkner, that's a collector's item. Darkenville's Cat is not a collector's item. It's just a book that hasn't been published yet. And so that's one of the things that pleased me about being able to, this is one of 3 Chandler Broussard reissues. Broussard is a great writer who went out of print, and that was one of the things that made me feel great about getting him back into print, is, his books were overpriced because they were scarce, and that book is terrific, and it's worth, I don't know, if I didn't have a press and it wasn't readily available, I would say $30 tops.
So for Mr. Princic, it's the Driftless trilogy is also part of Corona Sam, is that?
Yeah, didn't I show it?
No.
Yeah, Mr. Princic, you won't be watching this, but maybe they'll email you back. The Driftless Zone and 2 other books are in a brand new pocketbook are 15. It's €15, and I'm a bargainer. If somebody writes me and says, geez, I don't know, I can't afford that. And also I would say to Mr. Princic, afford it because your post is so low in Slovenia. People in the United States would have to pay about, I think it's $6.69, for just this. Postal prices are going up all over the world, except in Slovenia. That would be, it would cost him €1.50 maybe for the post.
The last question I have.
You only had 3? Jesus.
I filtered out this.
You filtered out?
Listen, I'm not on my show, I need to save some for my show as well.
All the women.
I'm doing your favor.
Did you filter out the women saying, how old is he? Oh, too old.
Yeah, there were.
Okay.
There were some of them.
Yeah, there always are.
That's my polite
answer.
No, the question was, this is from one of our listeners, that his English is not very well. So he is asking, are there any Slovenian translations of any of your books available?
There's some Slovene words in some of my later books.
Some of your later books, but There are no books in Slovene.
No, but it's important that there is a Slovene. I wouldn't say I would recommend that he buy the book because my English is difficult for some English speakers sometimes. But there in Slovenia, the word for bar, the actual bar part of the bar, is shank, and in most of my later novels, I use shank, and you can tell by the context what it is. You might not know why there's a diacritical mark above the S, but that's because it's not sank or sank. It's shank, and or shank. I don't care if you call it shank, but it's a wonderful word for a bar. It fits, and I'm a sit-down bar guy, but a lot of Slovenes they're standers, and they like to stand at the shank, together.
But correct me if I'm wrong here. Wasn't there your Kramberger book? Isn't that once?
I was thinking of translations from extant and published books, but yeah, actually, several of my books are available in Slovene. I forgot about that. Skulls of Istria, Istrska Lobanja. Kramberger with Monkey is called Kramberger za Opico. Arjun and the Good Snake is Arjun and Dobra Kacha. And Wandering Stone, The Streets of Old Isola, which is the next book we're putting out in our press. Sometime next week, probably, it'll be available. It's virtually finished right now. I have a couple artists working on it, and I've told them, just do what you need to do. We missed the deadline. I said, forget the deadline. Just, make the best book you can. And that's available in Slovene as Kamniti Koraki, and I can't remember how you say the Streets of Old Isla, because some of the grammar requires the IH, what do you call it if it's not at the front, it's at the back? Prefix, suffix. It's suffocating suffixes in Slovene grammar.
Here. Yeah.
Isn't it? I mean, it's your language. It's
a difficult language. I don't want to bore your people with my language now at this moment.
Yeah, well, another person who uses your language is James Joyce in Finnegan's Wake.
Yeah.
He uses. I wish I could remember the Divacha one. Doesn't Keller lives in Jome lives in Divacha, doesn't he?
No, close. But Marco Princic is from Divacha.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. Marco Princic from Divacha. Read Finnegan's Wake. Because the people who read it in English won't understand much more than you do, but you'll be thrilled to see your town mentioned. He uses something with I think Diva, Divacha, and Debauch are in this. But throughout the book there he drops Slovene, and he plays on Dober dan, which is good day in Slovene. He plays on that a lot, so that is in there as well. Yeah.
Those were the questions I have so far. So
what would you have asked?
What would I have
if
asked?
You had listened to that?
I don't know. I would have asked, when is the radio talk show host gonna step in
and shut him up?
Shut him up. That's probably that was my mistake. I was here on this balcony doing the interview, and I was wow. Those were a lot of words, Rick.
Yeah, the safe word is
yeah.
And we didn't go over that, but that's my safe word for everything. My wife uses that in the grocery store when I've wandered off, and she just wants to get the hell out of there. She'll just go meh, meh.
I thought when the dog barks, that's a cue, but apparently now the dog is pretty silent over there. So this means you can go on, but I think I would do us all a favor when I say, Rick, it's been a pleasure again.
Okay, do the safe word.
Meh.
Okay. Did you hear that? I hope you heard that. Okay. Bye.